Okay, hello. I'm gonna try to do my vlog today. Actually, I left my tripod in my car, and so I'm holding the phone with my hand, and I'm using my iPad for the notes that I wrote down. So, um, we need to do a blog about, or a vlog about some article or something that we read about technology in education. And so I went looking on YouTube and I wanted to do a review about a vlog that I saw. And it was from the New Ed Tech Classroom YouTube channel. I will add the link to the YouTuber's account or to the YouTube video when I post this video. And basically what I wanted to review was he mentioned about 14 different things that he felt was very important for us to do in the classroom. And so I believe he is a full-time teacher, and so it is a little different than me because I'm working at, like, you would say, a private academy slash English Village, where in the English Village we try to put some technology into the lessons. However, it's not that much because the presupuesto, the budget is like maybe not sufficient or not easy to do. And so we have like VR, and we also have like in the computer class, last semester I had typing as the thing that they do after they learn about the words, typical words like mouse, keyboard, monitor, all of that. After they learn about that, then they learn about typing. And so we had a free typing game for the students to do online. And so we try to do that and try to add some other classes that use the technology as well. And so I thought it was really interesting. So basically, my arm hurts. Let's switch this side. Okay, so first, he talked about like having a digital classroom. Okay, I speak quick because if I change my hands, I accidentally hit the button that stops the video. So, digital classroom. And so when he was talking about this, he was showing about the Google Classroom and all of the assignments that were there. And I thought like, wow, this is really amazing because in high school, we didn't use this. We did have like, we all had laptops and we all were using like it to do our work on, but it would have been nicer to be able to see the stuff in a digital classroom, and it looked very clean and organized. And in college, I remember we have Blackboard and we're using Blackboard now, and I think it's a little bit like overwhelming, or just, I don't want to say just, it looks disorganized. When he was showing it, it was just like assignment, bang, 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 bang. Like everything needs to be done. And so when I was looking for the first time, it made me feel a bit old because I was like, wow, this is a little difficult to figure out how to do. And so I imagine this is how some new people that are coming into technology feel. And in the situation that we're living in now, I think it's very important to have like some online classroom, because for many teachers it must have been a very shock and surprise to do the classes online, try to figure out how to use Zoom, how to use all of this like electric or online classroom things. And so I think it is very good, like from the beginning, for us to do that, because it also helps the students, because I think he talked a lot about that. And I think for me, I wouldn't like to just be talked at. I think a teacher should be someone that's like showing us, oh, my arm hurts. I don't like this, maybe. A teacher should be someone trying to show us the information, making it easy for us to understand, and like a task, like all the things that we must do. So that was the first one. Next, I was really surprised that with this, you're able to give the parents access. And because I'm not a parent myself and I don't live in the US, it was something that I haven't seen or heard for a long time, that people are able to do this. And so I thought that was really cool, because then the parents can be accessing the work and seeing like the grades, seeing with everything, so they can be a part of the learning. And here, when we're teaching English to the students, we always feel like the kids that have their parents that help them to do their homework or that assist, they are the ones that like improve a bit more and more compared to the ones that have to do it on their own. And so it does give some disadvantage to some people. And so it is very good that they're able to allow parents to be able to access and being able to see what's going on. Now, next, increasing student engagement. And how do we engage the student? It doesn't, like using technology doesn't automatically make sure like the students are going to be engaged with us, you know. So actually, I remember this being a conversation for us when we were talking about this in high school, and we're like, why, like, my parents, I remember they're like, oh, are you playing with your computer? Or like, you're supposed to be using your computer to study. What are you doing? Like this type of conversations. And I'm sure many older generations could feel the similar way of, is this really helping? I don't know. I think the point that the technology is, and when he was talking about it, is we need to engage the students. And as we all know, that social media is very famous and popular, and people learn at different levels, and they love to use social media. And so if we can be able to, I feel like it's just shaking. Okay. And if we're able to input this stuff into the classroom, I think that'll be very good. The next thing, ditch the textbooks and flip the classroom. Oh my God. I completely agree with this. When he was talking about this, I was just like, I really hate textbook learning style, and I prefer like more active projects. It's better when, of course, you can be face to face and work with people, of course. And I have two feelings on this. So for me, I actually bought my textbooks for this class online in advance, because using an online textbook is not good for me, because I am kind of old-fashioned where I need to have the book in my hand. I want to underline the words as I'm going, write notes on it. And so if there is a program, and I think I wrote about this in my introduction, or I was thinking about it or so. Anyway, if there's a program that allows you to be able to like read, take notes, like very easily and simply, then it's good, and I think it's useful. Like, I have an iPad, I can use my Apple Pen, take notes on the book, and I think that's really helpful. And it's not necessary to actually waste like the tree or kill a tree to buy the book, but it's already printed. So anyway, but I think for this, many people, there's two learning styles, not two, there's more than one learning style. And so for some people, using a book is very important and it's necessary, but I think young students these days are not going towards that as much. I'm not in the US, so I'm not sure. Here in Korea, people still use textbooks a lot, and they use textbooks for like self-learning. Oh my gosh, camera angle. For like self-learning and studying on your own. But I think more people, like here, everyone has a cell phone. Everyone has, like, I don't want to say everyone, but most people, everyone has like some form of a smartphone. Most people have some type of computer at home. If it's like laptop, notebook, like actual big tower computer. So people are into technology, people are using technology. And so I think removing the textbooks, having more active projects will be very useful in the classroom that we're like in the time that we're living in. Next. Give students choice for how to show mastery. I hated taking standardized tests. I still hate it because I'm not good at memorizing things. And I think if we're I know here in Korea that they have all tests. It's like the big thing, just test, just show your knowledge. But if you're able to show your knowledge in another way, that shows that you understand the material, I think it's helpful. And that's one of the like great things I felt about growing up in the time that I grew up in, is that I felt like our teachers tried, and I'm very grateful. I'm still thinking of them. Like, they try to give us projects. Of course, we have to take tests. I understand. Like, that's like this old-fashioned, standardized way. Take a test. If you know the answers right on the test, then you know the stuff. But I think finding new ways to show it, or new ways to present the test, I think is helpful. But of course, that comes with, like, I was just thinking in my head, like doing like the test on Google or Kahoots or another application. I think that would be good. So because it's going a little long, adding some abstract learning into the classroom, like AR or VR. In my school, we use VR, and I think it's very helpful because when we're like talking about, in our VR class, we learn about different things, and we're talking about like USA, and some kids have never traveled abroad, and so you're like, okay, USA. I heard about it before, but being able to actually show it to them is a bit more helpful because they can actually like put themselves, they're watching it and they're like, wow, this is how it looks. Like, I'm walking on Times Square. This will be really nice to visit someday. So I think that is really cool. Also, with technology, it's also helpful to expand the classroom walls because you're able to show them videos that, like, for me, I'm really passionate about different cultures, and so it would have been very helpful and exciting for me if I could have a teacher that's showing me cultures. And like, I took Spanish in high school, and even though I still love the Latino culture, and maybe I would have been more passionate. Like, I'm already pretty passionate about it, but like super passionate about something else, you know. And so I think it helps us a lot to be able to see things, use this technology. Teaching digital citizenship skills. I think a lot of times, like, kids and people don't know that when you post stuff online, it's like online forever. And sometimes it's really hard to delete it because people like download it. Like, I post a YouTube video, people can download it and upload it again on some other site. I mean, you don't know. And so you need to know the like proper language, proper speaking, when you're commenting online. Like, you shouldn't say any malicious comments or anything. So it's very important for us to know and for us to teach students like how you should act when you're online. Next. Also, students love sharing, and not just students, like people these days, they're Instagram, was it TikTok, all of these social media websites, and people are using it to share their information. And I think in the classroom these days, many people are wanting to like, they do the work, and then, I don't know, because I'm not an actual teacher, but I imagine for myself, I would have liked to share it to other people. Like, I'm proud, I worked hard on this assignment. And so he talked about something called Padlet.com, and it was some program for helping to share what they did, and I thought that was really cool. And so now I want to talk about okay, so I'm gonna relate this back to the reading. And so in reading chapter 1, and I'm looking down because I took my notes. So in reading chapter 1, in the book, it talked about refrigerators, and he talked about how it was kind of strange to relate this to it, but I felt that he was talking about how technology is changing a lot. And he talked about how his grandmother, or some older woman that he knew, I think it was grandmother, I can't remember, I read it yesterday, had like 3 different refrigerators, the different models. Like, this one with ice, and then this one with this like poisonous chemicals in it, and then like the standardized refrigerator now. And he said that his grandmother had this there, and I thought about it as like technology is coming, like changing all the time. And nowadays it's like, it just keeps like better. And these days we actually don't keep I mean, I don't know for everyone, but at least myself, I don't keep, like, I get the new iPhone comes out, I just trade in my old iPhone. I don't want to keep like an iPhone just laying around, because it's like not necessary. I can trade it in, they can reuse it, use the parts for something else. And so, but basically, new technologies is coming out all the time. I think kids are adapting it really quickly. I remember when I was an 8th grader in middle school, and that year, I'm pretty sure it was that year, when we all got laptops. And it wasn't like very scary. It's like, oh, it's Mac laptop. We already had the laptops in our school, and we would use them in our classes. But this one, we got one like to take to each class. It's our responsibility. So it's not only teaching us responsibility to be responsible for something, and also it's helping us in the classroom for like learning purposes. And so I felt like it was super easy to use. And the next year we just got a new Mac, and they got new Macs in for the high school students. So when I became a high school student, I got a new version of a Mac. And I thought this is kind of like the author, the grandmother with the refrigerator, so it's easy for her to adjust and to use the new version of the refrigerator. And so I think students as well these days are able to adjust and just change, and like, oh, this is the new thing, okay, let me figure it out, boom, 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 okay, I know how to use it. And so if we're able to add technology into our future classroom or into our classroom, I think it won't be that difficult for them to learn. But I thought about like my personal self, and because I'm not working with kids that like speak English as a native language or as their first language, it's a little bit difficult for them to understand. And so in the classroom, like when I talked about earlier about using the typing programs, some kids like, help me teacher, I don't know how to do this or that. And then you're just like, it's difficult as a teacher to do that. And so you have to make it very simple for everyone. And so I think in a school or international school or in a public school, something where you're like the lead teacher with the students all the time, using technology, it would be very helpful and useful in the classroom to make, I'm shaking the camera off, to make it more engaging, more fun, helpful for the students that are going to go into the workplace. And I remember some teachers that I work with, they're like, I don't know how to use PowerPoint. I'm like, how do you not know how to use PowerPoint? But we should understand that not everyone had a specific major where they had to make PPTs or use Word and do these things, and not everyone's learning style is that way. My learning style was make PPT, present it. It helps me keep my mind like in order of how I want to present it. And so that's how I knew how to do it. But not everyone had that same thing as me when they were in college. And working with different people at different levels, we should be able to help them all to understand how to do this and understand how to make like simple, like use the technology to make a PPT, or if they want to make a video, how can they edit a video? How they can edit a video, how they can do something. So I hope this was a very understandable. It's quite long actually, this video. So I hope it was understandable and it was clear. So let's see what happens. Peace.